proud to bring this news of India's achievement. So everywhere you look, the headline is the same. India is now the world's fifth largest manufacturing power. But the part missing from almost every mainstream report is the composition of that manufacturing output, where the value actually comes from, who controls the IP, and how dependent India still is on foreign machinery, chips, and design. And of course, to understand today's ranking, we need to understand the groundwork laid across 30 years and why the foundations were never fully Indian. India has just pulled off something massive. We are now officially the fifth largest manufacturing country in the world. Yeah, let's take a moment to actually celebrate that. India, of course, has overtaken the United Kingdom, France, Italy, and South Korea, countries that industrialized a century before we did. Our manufacturing output stands at, here it is, $781 billion. Yeah, India has entered the global manufacturing super league. But before we dive in, I have to say this. As part of this celebration, like, share, and subscribe. You know why? Because tonight's front page is going to flip the entire manufacturing narrative on its head. And of course, here's the part mainstream headlines won't say out aloud, which is, yes, India is fifth in total manufacturing output, but a painful amount of that output is still foreign designed, foreign controlled, and powered by imported machinery and components. So for example, look at mobiles. We are producing millions every month. Fabulous. But 60 to 70% of the value of those phones still sits abroad. Why? Because the expensive stuff, which is the chip, the sensors, the display drivers, the power modules, they are all imported. We assemble the product, but someone else collects the margins. It's like actually hosting a feast where everybody eats and you're left washing the dishes. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now, of course, let's compare India's $781 billion output with the top of the list. China sits at a mind-bending $4.9 trillion. That's not a lead. That's actually an entire continent of manufacturing. Then we come to the United States, which is at $2.5 trillion. Japan is next, $1 trillion. Germany, $892 billion. So yes, India has climbed the rankings and kudos for that. But the value per unit we capture is still low. So when an iPhone or a car rolls out of an Indian factory, the highest value slice, which is the IP rent, the component markup, the tech premium, often flies straight back to California, Tokyo, Taipei, or Seoul. This moment didn't appear out of nowhere. You know why? Because the groundwork began over three major waves. Wave 1, 1991 to 2005, liberalization cracked the door open. Global firms arrived. India learned scale, quality, and modern manufacturing discipline. Wave 2, 2005 to 2015, automotive giants transformed Chennai, Pune, Gurgaon into world-class auto belts, now of course referred to as Gurugram. India became the world's workshop for two-wheelers and small cars. Then came Wave 3, 2015 to the present. PLI schemes, GST streamlining, the China plus one strategy. Suddenly, every CEO wanted a plan B and India became the default answer. That's actually how we reached top 5. But the next leap from output to ownership requires a very different recipe. So the question is very simple. How does India move from, well, we make it to we own it? Yes. And here's where the numbers from the ex-post hit very hard. India imports 90% plus of advanced machinery, 85% of critical electronic components, nearly all semiconductor tools. You cannot win the manufacturing game if the tools, the brains, and the core components are all foreign. It's actually like claiming you won the match, but the bat ball stadium scorecard, everything belonged to someone else. It's happened to me once. It was quite depressing. Anyway, so to truly claim this new top 5 badge, India must now do this. build components, not just final products, because 70% of the value sits inside the parts we currently import. Build the machines that build everything else. Japan and Germany became industrial gods because they built capital equipment. China followed the same logic. India must too. Level up design talent. We produce 1.5 million engineers a year, but only a tiny fraction specialize in things like chip design, robotics, industrial software, or for that matter, materials science. The real value creators, that is what we need to do. And finally, speed. If approvals take 6 to 12 months, investors won't wait. China does it in 30 days. Vietnam in 45. India must become the fastest, not the cheapest. And here, of course, is the front page take. And this one is personal. India entering the top 5 in manufacturing is historic. So yes, it is applause worthy. Celebrate it. And we are very proud to do so. But let's not stop there. You know why? Because the next big story isn't that India is manufacturing more. The next big story is whether India can manufacture what truly matters, which is the chips, the machines, the IP, and most importantly, the value. And if we get that right, India won't just be 5th in output. We'll actually be top 3 in power. We would love to know what you have to say in the comments below. Are we, of course, entering India's value capture decade? That's the question. That's what the one you need to answer. This is Front Page by